Hey everybody. Phew, how y'all doing on this Ace of Spades day? Oh my goodness gracious. It has been a day. I have learned so much about my Pluto card today. I mean, there are some days where you just get nuggets, right? And my Pluto card is the Ace of Spades, right? Ooh, what did I do? On my comments. My Pluto is the Ace of Spades, and I've been in Scorpio feelings all day. I'm like, oh, I don't like Scorpio. I try to call my Capricorn moon, and my moon and my Pluto have been fighting today. Cause I didn't want to be in my feelings. I don't know how Scorpio. I have to acknowledge how Aquarius Maximus feels being a Scorpio. This watery kind of feeling. Ew. I'm a Libra. I ain't in the water, right? I don't. Right. Today I just wanted to. I don't know. I can't say because I said I wanted to do something on Instagram, and they said I went against community guidelines, and they took my post down. I said I clutched my pearls. I said I'm in my feelings. It was that day. Hey Doris, it was that day of feelings, right? Pluto. Oh my God. Oh, I don't want to. I think it's one more. Is it one more? No, it's a couple of more months of the Ace of Spades. Hey fam, how y'all doing? So we're gonna be talking about the God card. We're gonna be talking about age 52 because I get so many questions about that spread, and you were all in your feelings today too. Oh, who's that Facebook user? Tell me. Facebook don't tell me who your name is. Y'all gotta tell me your name from you're in the Facebook group. Tell me your name because Facebook says Facebook user. It's so disrespectful, right? Give me people's names. So yeah, we're gonna talk about 52. So y'all get your questions together. I know y'all got questions about the God card because I always Mimosa. Hey Mimosa. I haven't seen you in so long. I started to call you today, but I know you say you were busy. But yeah, the God card. So 52, is known as the critical year. And I find it to be so interesting when we think about our first year going into Saturn being the critical year. And that makes sense because Saturn crystallizes everything. So, yeah, and this is what's important for all of y'all that are in Jupiter. Oh, excuse me. All of y'all are in Jupiter. This is what you're working toward. You're working toward the crystallization of 52 because all of the stuff that you do in Jupiter, hey, Brandy, all of the stuff that you do in Jupiter becomes real when you he said, well, took you off the big screen. Now I can chat with you. Live stream of Vision Network. I don't know who that is. You gotta tell me your name. So the work that you do now, I look at Jupiter as networking, right? Because we think about Jupiter years from you start Jupiter at 40 and it's from 40 to 51. And that's when you go out into the world. We know that our Mercury, Venus, and our Jupiter, Queen of Clubs, okay, our Mercury, Venus, and our Mars are our personal years. And that's, hey, Florida. And that's when we're starting to develop. We're developing up until we get into our Jupiter and then, school and all of the things that we've done. That's when the networking begins. So we definitely want to know what our Jupiter card is because that's when we're out in the world. Jupiter represents the social planet, societal planet. And so is Saturn. So the things that you're doing in your Jupiter period, work and, building and networking and all of those kind of things to build the thing that you want to do, it becomes important when we get into Saturn, because Saturn is the crystallization of it. So the work that we start doing, even in our Mars and our Venus, depending on how early we start our career, we want to understand what that 52 looks like. And that's why it's called a critical year. And 52 is a 7 year, right? So we know 7 is about the introspective. Your Jupiter period this year is an Ace of Clubs. You started your 9 of Clubs cycle. Can you give me some pointers? Your 9 of Clubs Saturn at age 52? Is that what you're saying? Who is that? Mimosa? Is that you, Mimosa? Oh, who is that saying that? That 9 of Clubs Saturn. Is that your... And you'll be okay, y'all gotta tell them, give me more. You'll be the 7 of Hearts. Okay. So you are you a 7 of Hearts? You said you'll be a 7 of Hearts. Are you a 7 of Hearts? Because you got 9 of Clubs, Saturn, and you got 7 of Hearts. So I'm not following. What is Mimosa is your 7 of Hearts? Okay. Are you starting your Saturn, Mimosa? No, you're not Saturn your Saturn period. Unless it's your yearly Saturn. But who is on there on plate 52? How do I reference the planets through my birth chart or cardology? When you're looking at this, what we're looking at right now, the grand solars, Mimosa will be a 7 of Hearts at 52. Okay. So at 52, Mimosa, you're the 7 of Clubs. Is your Saturn card? You said Saturn card. Oh, okay. You're talking about this in your house. I got you. When you're looking at this spread, we're looking at through cardology. It's the same in astrology. We're looking at the first row is Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So this is how we look at the planets to look at the attributes. So it's the same as in astrology. The planets are doing the same things, but they're doing it with that card. So that's why people are saying their period. Your 9 of Clubs just turned 52 and having an Ace of Clubs year. So your 9 of Clubs, you just turned 52, and you're at 52, the 4 of Diamonds is sitting in your house. So this is when we think about, like I was saying, our Jupiter years, the fulfillment of those 13 years, when we get to our 52-day period, that card that's sitting in your house is going to be the theme. So that 4 of Diamonds, this is about fiscal responsibility, right? So if you have not done the things that you need to do, it could be a little interesting for that 4 of Diamonds, because look at the 4 of Diamonds. The challenging karma card is the Queen of Hearts. And we know that's the Saturn card to the 4 of Diamonds. So if we think about the sense of humor, that's a sense of humor. Did you have your that card is sitting there? So it's going to be a lot of challenges, because if we look, the Queen of Hearts is in the sun. So the 9 of Clubs is pretty, and we're looking at this spread, and everything on this spread is affecting us, right? Our card and our life path is something that we will look at individually, but looking at this spread, that 4 of Diamonds is facing that 9 of Clubs. The connection is a challenging karma card, the Queen of Hearts, that's in the sun. So it's saying that the 9 of Clubs it definitely needs to be aware of this long before they turn 52. before they turn 52, because at 52 you're going to be really dealing with some, and the nine of clubs deals with lots of upheaval, nines in and of itself, but the nine of clubs, that's Venus, right? And Saturn. So a lot be going on with that nine of clubs. But the four of diamonds sitting in that house, the four of diamonds can sometimes be a little aloof, a little dreamy, a little, just head in the sky. And with it sitting in Venus Saturn, it's going to add something to it, because the four of diamonds is Venus Neptune. So you wouldn't necessarily think that the four of diamonds would want to be in that position if they haven't been doing the work. That's adding on Saturn. So at 52, it's telling you, yeah, you're going to really have to start looking at things. And the things that you're looking at, you want to make sure that your last 13 years, you have been getting into work, right? So when we look at 52, what we want to look at is the key things we want to look at is the Queen of Hearts and the Sun, because that's the Queen Mother. So at 52, the Queen Mother and the guard card, the King of Spades, is sitting in the Sun, right? That's pretty daggone dope, right? Is sitting in the Sun. So the queen is coming to do what? What would you think the Queen of Hearts is coming to do with it sitting in the Sun? Coming to change the game, because the Five of Spades is sitting in his house. So it's saying that 52 is a game changer. The Five of Spades is sitting in the Queen of Hearts house. That's changing the game. So with the Queen of Hearts in the Sun, what would you think that the Queen of Hearts is, illuminating? That's a good word. What would the Queen of Hearts be illuminating sitting in the Sun, right? This is definitely talking about looking at things from a different perspective, because queens are mirrors, and the Queen of Hearts sits in Neptune. So that's casting a big reflection on 52. So looking at things from not necessarily from an emotional perspective, because it's displacing the Eight of Diamonds, and the Eight of Diamonds is the Queen of Hearts Venus card. So what is forensics cardology? Yeah, for sure, right? So looking at the Queen of Hearts is placing its Venus is like, how did you get there? It's like, it's going to be a big emphasis on that second house. It's going to be a big emphasis on Taurus, right? And Libra. It's going to be a big emphasis on how you develop the patterns and things. And when people get to that stage of life, yeah, sometimes it can be a little daunting, because they're looking at where they are as opposed to where they should be. So this is important for you to be looking at that, because emotionally, that Queen of Hearts is in its Venus, right? It's in its Venus house. So in the Sun. So this is saying that the last 5 years, that Queen of Hearts has been going through those karmas to get there, right? So you want to follow these karmas to see what you're supposed to be doing at 52, right? At 52, the Four of Spades was sitting in your house, and I was sitting in the King of Clubs house, and the Three of Hearts was my Jupiter. All this was going on my divorce, and wow, yeah, oh wow. When we look at these things, we do. I know I'm an Eight of Diamonds in October the 1st, 1962, 61. Okay. So yeah. So you've passed by you're getting out of the weeds at 61, right? It's like, out of the weeds. I'm so glad to be out of the weeds. So all right, now let's get to questions. Let's get some cardology questions. I don't want to hear about your stuff. Let's get into the weeds with the cards. Let's do some forensics. Let's look at this plate and see what we can pull out. What would you pull out of 52 if you look at it? Come on, let's get into it. Let's pull it out. We want to pull out what we see at 52. Right? Me, I've lived it. So I'm telling you, displacing that two of diamonds. And I was at 52. I was on at 52. At 52, I was on plate. At 52 was 2009 for me. So I go back to 2009 and think about what was happening at right, because 2008 was definitely a big year in the United States, kind of like the big what was that downturn or whatever that they called it. And I was going into my critical years in Saturn. Isn't that deep? So the guard card is the Jupiter card. No, the guard card is the King of Spades. You're sitting with the guard card, the King of Spades. But what is your guard card for that year? I think your guard card is the card that's sitting in your house. Aquarius says it's the card that is displacing you. So I guess you could look at it both ways, but I look at what I'm sitting. I look at what I'm sitting in. What's sitting in my house is like it is going to play out like with me, the Queen of Hearts, being in the sun. Yeah, it was playing out. That it was definitely playing out for me emotionally in my marriage, in my relationships and stuff like that. That Queen of Hearts in my house when I turned 52 was whoa, right? It was. And added on to a lot more pressure, a lot more it was a lot of pressure, so that Queen of Hearts being in my house was a lot of pressure. And the Five of Spades is my moon card. It was displacing the Queen of Hearts. So there were lots of changes in my relationship going on then, lots of changes, right? So I look at this and I'm like, wow, it was a lot going on for sure. A lot. I did have a lot of balls in the air, working it, family, money. Look at that time. We were all going through that downturn, and the 10 of diamonds was my Neptune. And money was funny, right? The 6 of diamonds was my son, and he was displacing the Jack of Spades, and he started acting like that. He started acting like a jack. He did. He started, he changed, he started maturing and growing up and stuff like that. And he wanted to break away from home. So yeah, when I look at that life path with that 8 of diamonds, everything is like, oh wow. And the home was my Uranus, and was my Uranus card, and my home was changing, right? I was moving. It was so much going on that year. Yes, sitting in my house at 52 will vary the 3 of Hearts, your guard card, and a lifetime Pluto sitting in my house at 52. The 3 of Hearts is sitting in your house at 52. So that makes you a 2 of Spades. And right. So if the 3 of Hearts is sitting in your house, that makes you a 2 of Spades. And your guard card and your lifetime Pluto. What's the King of Spades. Yeah, right. Yeah, that part. But I think for the 2 of Spades, that King of Spades being that Pluto card is your superpower, right? That's that unlocking. Is like when you take your time, as a 2 of Spades tells you they need time. With Pluto King of Spades, y'all get insights and downloads and stuff like that are so significant to whatever is happening. It's like it's significant. It's like not something that is not going to unfold. It's like it's very significant. When you get ready to tell somebody something and you got to process it, it's going to be mind blowing with that King of Spades and Pluto, right? You're going to take it takes time, but when you get that download, it's like, oof, right? So with the Three of Hearts sitting there, and the Three of Hearts is your reward, right? Isn't the Three of Hearts your reward card? Yeah, that's deep. So your reward is displacing you at 52, right? So yeah, really diversity, right? That's a lot of diversity. Relationships wise, the Two of Spades is definitely a card that likes relationships when they do, and then when they don't, right? But loves, depending on your planetary ruler, that plays a big part, excuse me. But with the Three of Spades, the Three of Hearts sitting in your house, that challenging common cards and Six of Spades, there's a lot to do with relationships at 52 for you. I could see it being a little, wow, and you're displacing your Mercury, the Eight of Hearts. So you want to be careful at 52. It's like being out there in the world, relationship wise. You just want to be careful, with your being out there, because that Queen of Spades is your Mercury, but it's the Venus, and that's a lot of detachment. And your spades are detached already, but that Ace of Hearts is displacing that Six of Spades. So that Ace of Hearts and that Three of Hearts coupling together, and you're going to learn about a lot about emotions at 52. It's going to slow you down. It's going to definitely slow you down emotionally at 52. For sure. You got a lot of, you used to those spades, so that in itself isn't unlocking them is going to be the key. But that Ace of Hearts and that Three of Hearts is pretty important. And then the Queen of Hearts is your Uranus. So I think that at 52, the Two of Spades is going to be discovering what the future of relationships are, right? The future of relationships is pointing to how you've learned and how you start using it, right? Yeah. Hey, Tony. Yeah, I was sitting in your house at 52, and yeah, ooh, it was a very slow time for me. A very slow time. Mars, Saturn. Things were not moving, but they weren't moving for the country. So that's, if I could look at it that way, but the country wasn't doing well then, right? Do you see the cluster of red crosses everywhere? Upper left, sun in line. Yeah, right. Yeah, I do. But you see them on the bottom right, right? I see that, right? So the significance that for me on this plate, what is amplified? It's like if you are using that divine feminine, and that would be anybody that, when you see that down from that Seven of Clubs, that's the divine feminine. And I see as we're going up higher, it's that divine masculine. So yeah, that's good observation. That's good observation. I had a mixture, being there as an Eight of Diamonds, but I definitely felt the pressure and the drive. It was a lot of things going on at work then, like I said, and a lot of things going on at home, right? So yeah, Tony, sitting in your house was, oof, it was work, right? It was a lot going on for me back then. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay. So that was definitely putting pressure on relationships at 52. Relationships take a hit at 52. And the Six of Diamonds is my Mercury, is my soulmate card, right? So that kind of balanced it out some. But the King of Diamonds was supporting me. So I was okay, but the country wasn't okay. So work-wise and stuff like that, I don't know if that was the time that we were furloughed and stuff, but money was funny for me around 52. Hey, Jay. Money was funny around 52, right? So come on, y'all, with your questions. Let's go. We got to dig deep. This is 52. This is the one of the important places you want to know whether you were there or you moved on. I need some questions. Let's get some questions. I know it's got your brain going, right? That's why I picked this. That's why I picked this spread, because y'all got so many questions. This is a way to get to get more familiar with, with difficult times. Because this is a difficult spread. Look at it. This, if you like me, just staring at it, it's like, wow, right? Look at Jupiter. Look at Jupiter with all of that going on there. Can you imagine if you sit in a Jupiter row and you got all of that pressure on you? Look at it. It's like, excuse me, why some people at 52 don't do very well. There's a lot of pressure. Excuse me. Because because 52, Jupiter is the collective. What does it mean when your supporting common card is your moon card on that plate? I see that. I see that, Brandy. So one thing for sure is, I think with diversity, you'll be fine with it. With that jack of spades, the space, and that ace of hearts, you're gonna want to try something new and different in your relationships, but definitely being more active, being supported to be more active and to be more proactive, right? Because think of the jack of spades and think about what the jack of spades ultimate goal is. What's the jack of spades ultimately? Is to help you through the things that you're going through. That's what initiations are. So with the jack of spades supporting you, I think you might be more open to discovering a broader perspective, because you Saturn Uranus, that place between Saturn and Uranus is where it gets sticky. So jacks are ruled by Uranus, and that jack of spades is Mars Uranus. So I think helping you to broaden your perspective. The ace of diamonds is challenging, so starting new things may not be as easy, but you're sitting in that ace of diamonds house, so that kind of softens it. I think the main thing is that challenging two of diamonds, because the eight of diamonds is sitting in that house, and that's your challenging karma card. So 52 is gonna be interesting for you, because your challenging karma card is 52 for the seven of clubs. Yeah, that's people gonna be challenging that part, right? You're not gonna be able to get away from that, right? She said, thank you. Oh, what is it? Your God card is the King of Hearts. So it's going to be very interesting for you at 52. You could get in trouble. You could feel your oats, but it's going to be interesting, because your karma is following you. You are the reward to the eight of diamonds at 52. You better know how to act. He said they challenging you at 44. Excuse me. You better know how to act at 52. A seven of clubs at 52, gonna get spanked. I'm just saying. It's not me. It's the cards. Because I don't know what's tickling my throat all of a sudden. Stop it. Because that eight of diamonds, you the reward to the eight of diamonds, and it's your challenging karma card. Ooh, I gotta just process that. I gotta process that. You are the reward to your challenging karma card. Can somebody say Hebrew slave? Ooh, child. And you better act like you know. You better get some act right. Two of diamonds at 52 in the eight of clubs. You can't displace the eight of clubs. Two of diamonds at 52 sitting. Two of diamonds is sitting in the, where are you sitting at? You can't displace the eight of clubs. You are sitting in, where's the two of diamonds? It's hiding from me. Two of diamonds. Hello. Where's the two of diamonds? That's so crazy. It is hiding. Where's the two of diamonds on here? I'm going to stop looking and let it just come to me. Right. It's Mars, Mercury. Okay. It's the space in the King of Hearts. Oh, how did that feel, Tony? The two of diamonds was the space in the King of Hearts. Wow. And the eight of diamonds was in your house. And it was the Jupiter card. Wow. 52 takes on a whole different meaning when you displace in the King of Hearts, right? And the King of Hearts has you in Jupiter. Man, I can imagine what work would look like. I could just see work at 52 for the two of diamonds. And remember, this is overall we're looking at. So at 52, the two of diamonds was called upon for a whole lot of stuff. And they couldn't get in their feelings because they had a nine of spades in Mercury. And the King of Diamonds was their Mars. Eight of diamonds. Oh yeah, 52 is that's a big year for connections, right? Right? That's a big year for two of diamonds. Have eight of diamonds as your underline. I could see Tony card for this two of hearts in Mars 52-day cycle, which is also my cosmic lesson. Yeah, that was interesting, Tony. That was interesting. I could see that. Wow. So we think about the two of diamonds and we think about how we were trying to earn money and look at the Jack of Diamonds. It was the Pluto card. And that was the year for me, like I said, with that downturn. So 52 in 2009. So we look at this plate in 2009. For me, that Jack of Diamonds was the Pluto card, and the United States was definitely in the dark. But the reward was the three of diamonds. This space and they got clear, right? Wow, these cards don't lie, right? At all. So yeah, the two of diamonds plays a big part of that of how society is maneuvering with that King of Diamonds and Mars and that nine of spades, right? Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Okay, come on now. You ain't got no questions? Dun, dun, dun. I ain't did that in a long time. I went on Clubhouse yesterday and everybody was so boring. Oh my God, I was doing readings. I got one reading done and that was it. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm trying not to be boring with y'all, but if y'all going to be boring, I'm going to be disappearing. We got to learn this. That means we have to be proactive. We got to think about the things that you think about in the questions, and then you bring the questions here, right? So we can unpack them together. So come on now, 52. Who does not have a question? Right? Is Saturday night not a good night for y'all? Because if it's not a good night for y'all and y'all can't focus and concentrate, let me know. Right? Of course. I need the questions. I'm not on here to do a lecture. I get tired of lecturing. I don't want to lecture. I have an ace of clubs in Mars. I want to talk. I want to expand my brain. I want to learn new things, right? And y'all down there just like do. I don't know what to say. And y'all got so many questions. I don't understand. I really don't. Mm-mm. I don't understand. What about the four hearts sitting Jupiter, Jupiter? Yeah, right. That's going to be interesting, right? Because when we think about the Ten of Diamonds and it's the daggone freaking Mercury card, the synchronicities are like crazy. So I would say that home life at 52 is going to be like mine, because that was my Uranus card and my home life was everywhere, like I said, with a teenage son. Then I had my other son, it was in middle school. It was, I'm telling you, it was all, I was all over the place. So that four hearts being in Jupiter, that's the home. You know, with me, what I find with people who have a lot of Jupiter placements, they don't do a lot of family stuff sometimes, because Jupiter is the collective and it takes you outside. So, me, I was at work, I was inundated at work, and then the home was going crazy. So, and that's the Mercury to the United States. And on that plate, it's the Venus to the United States. So it was during that time for me, like I said, money was bad for me in 2009. We were recovering. But when you think about that four of hearts, being the Venus card displacing the 10 of diamonds, it's like, how did you get there? You know, fours are destabilizing. You know, they want peace of mind, but they're ruled by Uranus. So what does peace of mind look like in the home? Emotional peace of mind. It's like, how do you do things? It's like, what's your regiment? You know, with that four of hearts in the home, is your regiment that you get up, you fix breakfast, you go to school, you go to work, you come home, you cook dinner, they do homework. What is the regimen of that four of hearts? Because when something happens, when you can't stick to that regiment, that's when those emotions come in. That's when you're looking at, how do you recover, because things are going to happen in a home. It's like, you could have, the child could have a project and they come home and tell you the project is due tomorrow. That's the four of hearts, right? That's it. That's the emotional things that happen to disrupt the home, right? It's Mercury, Neptune, so it's going to be tied to children in some form or fashion. It moves pretty fast, and that's where it can be a little disruptive, because Mercury moves fast, and that's Neptune that doesn't. So the home is always evolving, things are always happening, and it's displaced, it's sitting Jupiter, Jupiter. So it's saying that it's spilling out in society, that everybody is dealing with it at the same time, right? So at 52, we're all dealing with the home, right? At 52, everybody is dealing with something to do with the home. How do we work? How do we work with our guard card when it's also the long range card? Yeah, that's a personal one. So I don't want to get into those kind of deep things, because that's really deep. But working with your guard card is what you want to think about. Well, everything else is gonna, play out, but working with that card is what you want to start with. Everything else will play out, but understanding the card in and of itself is, for me, what I would do. And the significance of the cards, what I was displacing, and the card in my house, and understanding those things. Everything else is going to play out, but wanting to know the significance, and that's significant, to look at those things. I don't do a lot with the long range card. I don't. I know you all do, but I don't. I don't do a lot with the long range card. I don't necessarily have time. I don't have time for the long range card. If something is playing out, then I would look at it, but it's the long range card and it has to do with your 7 years. So you're looking at your 7 year spread and you're trying to determine what you're supposed to be doing in your 7 years, and you're trying to couple that together. Yeah, that's very advanced. very advanced. So if I'm looking at something, then I will go to that. But often I don't have a lot that's happening with that long range card. So yeah, it's that's deep. Long range card is deep because you have to be familiar with your 7 years. Right? You gotta be familiar with your 7 year spread because that's where the long range card comes from. My God card is the four of hearts. Excuse me. So at age 52, it would be in my natural house at 10 of diamonds. Yeah, that's interesting, right? That's telling you about the home. Definitely gonna cost you some money. Look at the Mercury card, it's the 10 of diamonds. So you're looking at money coming in and out fast, right? You're looking at it being okay because it's displacing that eight of spades. So you're going to get through everything, but it's going to just be coming and going, coming and going. It could be anything to do with the home, redecorating or, appliances, anything to do with the home that's going to cause you to have to pull on resources is that four of hearts, right? Anything that, dealing with resources, right? With that Mercury. And more than likely, things that happen pretty quickly, maybe things that built up over time. I wish I knew these cards at 52, right? I know, right? I'm telling you, because it definitely, when I look at it, I'm like, everything that these cards are saying, it was happening. It was happening at 52 for me. So familiarize yourself with it. But if you're in Jupiter, you want to make every year count. That's the only way you're going to be successful at 52 is you make every one of your Jupiter years count, right? Jupiter is where you're working and building and networking and doing all of those things. So when you get to 52, whatever it is that you are wanting to come real will come real, because Saturn is the crystallization. If you are doing something and you are not sure, if it's like your marriage at 52, it'll end or it will solidify itself. Those kind of things you want to be mindful of. You want to be mindful because that's what Jupiter does. Jupiter prepares us. It prepares us. And a lot of people say, well, I don't really like people and I really don't like being outside. Then you're not going to be able to be successful, right? You looking at 52 and you judging your success, right? Because the work that you do from 52 to 64 is to your retirement. It is. You retire at 65, right? I got a letter in the mail today and it said you were at full retirement. And I was so sad. I was like, my full retirement is 66 and 6 months, I think, right? I said, whoa, wait a minute. I need to process this. It says you are at full retirement, right? When I got that, when they changed the retirement at all those decades ago, I said, oh shoot, I ain't worrying about that. Ooh, it was like it said you are at full retirement. It took me full circle to back to the time when no, but I didn't think about retirement, right? So yeah, we want to use these cards to prepare. I didn't necessarily have that. I didn't have, a lot of people around me that were even talking about retirement and repairing and preparing and stuff like that. Until this day, it's not a lot of that. So many people who are working for themselves and they want to be entrepreneurs. I remember when I was working in my community, people would say, oh, you a sellout. You working for the government. Da, 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 da. And I heard that for a great part of my life until later on, much later on in my life. But early on in life, when I was coming along, it was about being free and not wanting to do anything. And that didn't make sense to me. And I'm glad it didn't, because the vast majority of the people from my um generation that were doing all that talking, now they don't have anything. It's like they're looking at their lives and they don't have a pension, they don't have social security, they don't have anything. So I'm like, yeah, no, I couldn't just throw it to the wind and not, I come from a family that worked and was prepared. So looking at it and saying I just don't want to do anything, don't do that. You have to figure it out, because if you're not going to be doing, you want to still prepare for your later life unless you got somebody that you trust is going to take care of you. I can't put that on anybody, and I can't think about that. I have to be able to take care of myself, right? So look at your Jupiter years and be very involved in your Jupiter years, right? Your God card is Six of Spades, and it was your Pluto card at 52. So many changes in my home, in my body, mentally ill, mother-in-law moved in. It helped me allow myself to create boundaries. Yeah, I got that because I was constantly in school. Yeah, but pay attention. Pay attention to your Jupiter years. If I can give y'all any advice, if what you want to do, if you're not doing it, then you're fine with it. But when you get to your Saturn, you're gonna feel it, right? It's not studying this is not gonna help you until you get in it. But me and elders giving you some advice, listen, because we went through it. And like I said, I didn't go through it with any guidance. I can go back on it and look at it now, but I didn't have any guidance. What is it that you want? You've got to sit down and really think about that. The cards are the blueprint to help you to unlock it. We can look at 52 and get an understanding of it, but until you are in 52, you are not going to be able to resonate with that energy. And that's with all the plates, any plate that you haven't sat on, and 52, if you, what is 52? But, so when we can go and have an understanding, and this is how I do it, right? If we look at, so if we go back and look at 26, right? If you go back and look at 26, and if you are 26, you are preparing on 26 for that. And 26 was a pretty good time for me, but 52 wasn't. So, 52 is a higher octave of 26. So if I knew with 26 what I knew, I would have been prepared for 52, right? But I didn't know that. So at 26, look at 26, and that'll give you a understanding of what was going on, right? Because at 26, I was doing pretty good, overall. So, but at 52, I wasn't. You're still in your Mars years. Yeah. Take Mars is now you um, you know, learning you. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, we have a glean, an understanding, of why we're looking at these things, why it's making an impression on us, and what do we need to do. It's making an impression on us. But what do we need to do with this information that we're getting? And we got to look where we are. We're not going to understand stuff until we get into the energy field, right? So let's pay close attention to where we are, because the cards help us to navigate. It's like we're navigating, we're getting an understanding, a better understanding, right? Because looking back, it blows my mind every time. I'm like, wow, it happened exactly. I'm looking at this now, and I didn't see this the last time I looked, because I look at this stuff quite often, but I didn't see that this Six of Diamonds was my Mercury card. my son was breaking away from home, and he was really acting like a jack, and he's a six of diamonds. I'm like, oh my God. It is so crazy. And the seven of clubs was his Pluto, which was, oh my God, he really was. Yeah, I'm just saying. And the six of diamonds and the seven of clubs are what? You know what I'm saying? It's just so much that you can learn and have an understanding that everything plays out the way it's supposed to play out, depending on the energy. Yeah, for sure. Depending on the energy. But it played out the way it was supposed to play out. So when you're sitting on your plate now this year, look at your plate and make sure that you are pulling all of the potential, right? You want to, excuse me, pull all of your potential. You and your Jupiter years, you're like, nah, yeah, you sit in Jupiter. How are you gonna be a natural introvert? They played See, that's what I'm saying. The sense of humor, right? Is like if we look at our life and it's like today, the ace of spades is Pluto. I'm like, who? I have a Capricorn moon. Pluto, no, I don't want to be in my feelings ever. Right. And today it's been mushy. Oh my God, it's been mushy. It's been mushy. It's just been mushy. So I've been doing my due diligence to process, as we have this internal dialogue. Oh, we processing it. And I've been processing my internal dialogue all day long, right? You're a Capricorn moon. I've been processing because my Capricorn moon is not playing with Scorpio. It's your 52-day Neptune card. Ooh, wee. I didn't have not had this happen to me before with the ace of spades to my recollection, but for some reason it's ace of spading me, and I don't even know what my card is today. I didn't even look. Capricorn moon didn't care. Capricorn moon just needed me to sit down somewhere. It was not happy with these emotions. So the plate that we're sitting on is significant. It's significant because there's so much hidden potential and so much going on all the time. Sure, we want to know other things, but we do not want to miss where we are, right? We don't. We don't want to miss it because that's going to prepare us for whatever is coming. And that's the beauty of having the cards. Now I can look back in hindsight, but I've learned so much since 2014 when I first started, really getting the zhuzh of cardology, then now I appreciate it. So yeah, getting more familiar with where you are is important. It's going to help you as you are discovering the future, right? Especially now because things are changing so fast and we're all collectively in that change. So it's important. It's just important, right? So y'all got this. Y'all doing it. You are, curious and following, the things that you need to do as I am, right? This page is from my book. So if you don't have the book, it is on sale on my website. I'm going to put it on. I finally figured out how to put it on sale on Amazon. I'm like, hallelujah. I had to go to YouTube University. So I'm going to put it on sale on Amazon because I want everybody to have it, everybody to have this book in their arsenal, in their war chest, because it's got a lot of information in it. I did a good job on this book, right? It took me a long time to realize that I know what I know, right? It's like if you're an artist, if you're a creator, even in your job and stuff like that, it's sometimes hard to realize your power and your potential, right? So me doing what I do, I get extremely sensitive because I create stuff. And when you create it, you want it to be received in the way that you created it, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I get in my feelings. I do. I get in my feelings with my babies, right, Tony? I get in my feelings with my books, like Tools for Everyday Life. Oh my God, that book is so amazing. If I was had this book. I wrote that book for people who want to read cards, who want to read their family and stuff like that. If I had that book in 2014, in 2014, I didn't have anything. I had to really, I had Aquarius Maximus, and that was it. So you have, yes, you want to embody it. Absolutely. You want to know everything about that God card. So, your creativity and stuff like that, be good to yourself, let it flow, and try not to think about the end result. That's what I'm working on, is don't think about the end result. Think about the work that you put into it. Think about your desires and all that kind of stuff, and let it go. As an artist, I know that's hard. I've been an artist all my life. I've been a painter, jewelry maker, all of those things. And it's so hard for me to sell my stuff. It's hard for me to sell my stuff because I don't want to be judged, right? Oh, thanks, Jay. It's like, I don't want to be judged. So you make things and then I hoard them. So let's get into our artistic flow of developing our in that inner conversation where we judge ourselves more than anybody else, right? And do it out of the love that you do it, and release it, right? That freaking Scorpio, that Pluto Ace of Spades is coming for me, making me all wishy-washy and stuff. Ugh, I don't like that wishy-washiness of my solar plexus. I don't like that. I feel wishy. I feel wishy like water. Oh man, I don't know how Scorpios do it. Oh, that watery. I'm Earth. I'm a diamond. I'm freaking 8 Saturn. I'm Earth. I don't got all that wishy-washy going in me. I don't. And today I'm wishy-washy. I'm muddy, right? Got water and dirt. I'm muddy today. I'm feeling muddy. And it's so crazy because I was outside. It had rained so much in Georgia, and I was outside cleaning up and stuff, and I was sloshing all over the place in water. Isn't that crazy? I was all in water and mud today. Oh my God, I just had an aha moment. I was in water and mud outside. Oh my God. And I want to get back into my earth. I like Earth. I like Saturn, and I like hard stuff. I don't like that. Tears is good now. You can make them mud pies. make some mud pies, right? Oh my God, that is crazy. Ooh. It's pouring in Brooklyn. Girl, it's been pouring for days here. It's like the ark. It's been raining. I was outside sloshing around all day in my Crocs. And I'm thinking about that now. It's like, it's just been a watery, and it's been so much water. So it's not just Scorpio, right? What we getting ready to go through with all of this water? Ooh, child, I can't. I need my Capricorn moon. I don't. I need some Saturn. I need my 10 of spades. What else do I need? I need my 10 of spades. I don't need my Queen of clubs because she wishy-washy. I need my king of spades, and my 5 of spades to come through, right? Come through. Yeah, Queen of clubs is my Jupiter card. She wishy-washy. It's pouring there. Maybe it left here and it went up north, right? So thank you guys. This was dope. This was fun. We unpacked the guard card. Did we unpack the guard card? Do y'all have a better understanding of 52? Oh, child, things are gonna get easier. I know, right? Do we have a better understanding of 52, fam? Yes. Yes. Come on, let me know. Do we have a better understanding? Every time we look at it, we're going to learn something new. But for you guys who are on 52, I want to stress to live in the plate that you're in now. This live to the best of your abilities. So by time Queen of Clubs, my Queen of Clubs is wishy-washy. It's Jupiter, Jupiter. It's wishy-washy. It just is. It is what it is. It gets me in trouble. My Queen of Clubs gets me in trouble. So yeah. Hey, Carmen. It gets me in trouble, my Queen of Clubs. And Jupiter, Queen of Clubs and Jupiter, I'll be all over the place. I have to really vote myself in because I'll be putting myself way out there too much with that Queen of Clubs and Jupiter. So yeah, it definitely gets me in some predicaments. And I'll be like, why did you do that? Or why did you say you were going to do that? So I've been working on that, right? Your Jupiter card could get you Jupiter is outside. Jupiter card could get you in a lot of stuff because you are working off of other people's energy. You came in close to the end, so I'll play back. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, your Jupiter card can get you in a lot of stuff. It can. It's Jupiter. You're outside. You're with people. You're ebbing and you're flowing. You're feeling good, right? My Jupiter card makes me feel good. It's the Queen of Clubs. It makes me feel confident. And then I open my mouth and I say, okay, no, stop. Wishy-washy. I'd be like, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. My Queen of Clubs, but yeah, come on. That Jack of Hearts and Pluto, ooh, child, they get you in trouble. Ace of Spades is your Jupiter. Yeah, that Jack of Hearts and Pluto will get you in trouble. You think you Captain Saberhole. Go sit down, right? What about the Five of Spades? Five of Spades, that's my moon card. That's my thing, right? I have a Capricorn moon and Five of Spades. I stand firm, right? Spades are firm. You love Jupiter card, Queen of Hearts. I like people. I love people too, but I overdo it. Jupiter, you can overdo in Jupiter, right? You can overdo in Jupiter, right? So that's me. I overdo. So thank you, fam. This was great. If you enjoyed this, go on to the video and tell me you enjoyed. If you want more like this, you gotta tell me. Right? I'm doing this of course of my Queen of Clubs in Jupiter. But I do this, because I want to share my knowledge and stuff. But I need to know that this is something that y'all want, right? So sorry, Mike, you came in late. We'll have to talk about that next time. But let me know under the video that you you shared it, and all that kind of stuff. And I will see y'all next Saturday. Same bad time, same bad station. Go on Instagram and tell me what you want us to study. I haven't got nobody. You're welcome. Tell me what you want to study, what you want us to dive deep into, right? So y'all enjoy the rest of the weekend and be safe out there, fam. Peace.